Hey guys, it's SquirtTV here. I'm going to talk to you guys about WoW Classic today. What we're going to talk about specifically is different types of mounts. Now, depending on what race you are, you can only buy one type of mount, right? If you're a gnome, you get the Mechanostrider, humans get horses, dwarfs get rams, and gnomes get Mechanostriders. Okay, which is like a mechanical chicken that you ride around on. Okay, now in Classic WoW, what we're gonna have to do is become exalted with a specific faction to buy a mount, other than your whatever race you are. So Darnassus pertains to Night Elves, Gnomeregan is gnomes, Ironforge is dwarves, and Stormwind pertains to humans. Okay, so I can buy Saber Cat mounts right now, but if I'm not exalted with those factions, I can't buy the human mount, or the dwarf mount, or the gnome mount. Okay, and to become exalted with those factions, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to the beginning questing area for humans, or gnomes, or dwarves, to get that specific mount, and you're going to have to do, like, every single fucking quest. You're going to have to go to the starting area, do quests there, and you're just going to have to quest through the entire area, like, leading from that starting area until you're exalted. And there's only certain specific quests that grant reputation. So it's going to take a long time to just get one mount, okay? Just to be able to do this, you're going to need to put in a large amount of time. And it's only for appearance, really. And in Classic WoW, there are two types of riding training, okay? When World of Warcraft first launched, they made you buy a specific riding skill pertaining to your mount. So I would be able to buy saber riding. Okay, and then if I became exalted with humans, I could buy horse riding. If I became exalted with gnomes, Mechanostrider riding, etc., etc. Okay, so that is a huge headache, and I believe the training was over 100 gold. Now, that's at level 40. You can only get mounts at level 40 in Classic. Okay? And a really important thing to note is that the mount literally costs 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold for your mount. Now, if you become exalted with a different faction, you get a 10% discount, making it 900 gold. But still, in WoW Classic, to get 1,000 gold, a huge, huge, huge amount of work. Okay, now the locations for these mounts, it's pretty easy to tell where you get these mounts. For example, you start in Shadow Glen as a Night Elf. Okay, now there's this town here. In Classic, you might get it here, but currently it's in Darnassus. It's right here in Darnassus. But if you look at any other mount for humans, or I mean for Alliance, let's say you start out as a human. Okay. Now, as a human, this is your beginning area. Then you go to Goldshire. In Goldshire, you can buy your horses. Now, for Ironforge, or you start in New Tinkertown as a dwarf or a gnome. Now, it's going to lead you to Keranos. And that's where you get, in that general area, is where you get both of the mounts for dwarf and gnome, for the little people. Okay, guys, so I'm going to show you the locations for the 4 racial horde mounts now. Okay, I'm in Orgrimmar in the Valley of Honor. Now, in Classic WoW, the Crossroads also had a wolf mount vendor, I believe. Although I think that you're going to want to go to Orgrimmar to get your mount in the same location. Still, for the wolf mount. Now, for For trolls, which start on this island in vanilla, I don't know if they still do, Sen Jin village right here has the raptor mount. Okay, now we're going to pop over to Mulgore. You start in this area as a Tauren, and you quest your way up to here. This is Bloodhoof Village. This is where the Kodo mounts are sold, which are the Tauren mounts. They're kind of like a rhinoceros, but a really beefy, weird rhinoceros. Okay, now we gotta pop over to this side for the Undercity. Actually, the area near the Undercity. Now, as the undead, you get your mount in Brill. Okay, Brill, right here. And you're gonna start actually in this area here. So it's the first town from your starting questing area. So when you make a new character, as you quest, just pay attention to the city that you go to immediately after your starting area. It's always going to be there, or your race's main city. So orcs, it's in Orgrimmar, and night elves, it's in Darnassus. But other than that, for every other class, it's just the first city after your intro questing area, your like first 5 levels questing area. Now there are a few mounts that you can only get for specific classes. For example, when you're a druid, you have travel form, so you don't have to pay for a mount. Okay, and you don't even have to pay for the training as a druid, unless you want to actually equip these mounts, right? I can go into that form without being, if I couldn't equip these, I could still go into the form. Okay, now other classes that have mounts that are similar, paladins have a mount that you can summon. It's a spell, but it is a mount. And then warlocks have a summonable mount as well. So it's good to take note of that, because it's going to be really expensive for your first mount, and it might take a lot of saving up. It might be a lot easier to play a class for your first character that has a mount included with its class. So other than our class mounts that we get through reputation, which is pretty much from questing, and our class mounts and our race mounts, we have PvP mounts. Now this guy has our PvP mounts. See, it's Black War Kodo, Black Warwolf, Black Raptor, Black War Strider. That's not available. The War Strider isn't available in Classic. And then a Red Skeletal War Horse. And then these are not available either in Classic. So we have these 4 mounts for Horde, and then equivalent versions for Alliance. So that means we have a Black Ram, a Black Horse, a Black Mechanostrider, and a Black Saber. Now those you get by grinding out or obtaining 2,000 honor points, which are awarded for doing PvP. You still need the riding skills discussed previously to use those mounts, but they're some of the only mounts in the game. So for the only mount that can be dropped off of an enemy in the entire vanilla WoW, or then the only mount that you can get as a drop in WoW Classic, is going to be from this dungeon, which is called Strathholm. Now, this spot right here, Eastwall Gate, is a second entrance, but you need to get a key from having ran it previously and getting lucky, and that'll save you some time, but simultaneously, very, very low drop rate. I'm going to show you guys. This is the mount. Now, Alliance, go for it more, because Alliance can't get the skeletal horses, which are the undead's mount. left, and it's in the Eastern Plaguelands. Now, if you look at the map, here's Eastern Plaguelands, here is the Undercity, and Ironforge is here. Now, here's Arathi Highlands. It's gonna be a walk. It's gonna be a walk for Alliance to get here. I don't know if there's any faster way to travel here other than walking, but as you can see, there's this big water area. Now, if you want Ironforge to Wetlands, to Arathi Highlands, to the Hinterlands, to Eastern Plaguelands, that seems doable. So the final mount that I'm going to show you guys is there are 2 mounts that can be received from quests, although it's the same quest. There's just a Horde version and an Alliance version. So here is the Alliance mount, the Horde mount. It's a Venomhide Ravasaur. Now if you go to Ungoro Crater, in this spot right here, you'll see this guy. Now he has Toxic Tolerance. This quest is going to start you on the quest line to get the Venomhide Ravasaur. He says, oh, you gotta get poisoned by Venomhide Ravasaurs 20 times. Okay, that's going to take a while. But what he doesn't tell you is after this quest, he's going to send you on another quest, and practically what it is come back 20 days in a row and do the same thing. So you're going to, once you do this quest, you're going to have to come back and do it 20 more times before you finally get the quest that gives you the Venomhide Ravasaur. Okay, so this is the Alliance equivalent of the Venomhide Ravasaur quest. Now if you talk to him, get them while they're young, gather 8 Frost Saber cubs from their den or on the Frost Saber rock. He's going to send you on a string of quests which will gain you reputation with the Winter Saber trainer. See, I just became neutral just by talking to him without doing any quests. Now once you max out the reputation, you can buy the mount. I also believe that the quest chain, if you do the quest chain, I believe it's just like the Ravasaur, where it'll send you on a daily quest that you have to do 20 days in a row. But I've never done it myself, so I'm not 100% sure. That's just what I've been told by other people. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, this won't be in the game right when Classic comes out. These won't be in the game, but they will be after a few updates. See the Quiraji battle tanks. So Quiraj. There's a blue, green, red, and yellow. Now these are only usable inside of the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, and they'll drop very frequently inside. So that's the entire video on all the mounts. We talked about racial mounts and getting reputation to be able to ride them, how expensive they are. We talked about class-specific mounts, druids, paladins, warlocks. We talked about PvP mounts, which are actually very viable to get, although there's armor that you can use your honor points on. So I would say just get your friggin' mount, and that's like very end game. Like you have nothing else to do. You know, don't waste your time on appearances. But I'm just trying to show you guys all your options. And then we have the droppable mount from Stratholme. Comes from the last boss of Stratholme. And then finally, we talked about the 2 mounts from quests. Now, the Venomhide Ravasaur is only for Horde, and the Winter Spring Saber is only for Alliance. And then the Quiraji battle tanks, which won't come out until an update. Ahn'Qiraj, or the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, as well as Naxxramas, I believe, are the last 2 dungeons to come out in Vanilla WoW before Burning Crusade came out. So we shouldn't expect to see those in Classic WoW for at least a while. But again, I'm SquirtTV. Look in the description. Check out my Twitch channel. And I also will have links to my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a nice day.